Hey there, Palm Mute Addict here, and in today's video we're going to be talking about Neria. And uh, essentially, I was watching the latest King Nob video, and holy smokes, he had a fantastic Neria build set up, and he very quickly glanced at the builds and he went on to essentially obliterate uh, chapter chapter 14, phase 15, just completely obliterated it. And I was running it with Shelta, and listen, Shelta's still viable as long as you get to as long as you have enough spell power on her. She could do it, but holy crap, Nira could do it better. And so, for the new players, I kind of want to understand the mechanics of what's going on. I figured I'd kind of throw this video together. And, okay, so I have to admit, I have been misusing this character and sidelining her forever. Yeah, I do have her at 20. There was a time where I was attempting to do a high damage raid Neria, and Mel, with what I had at the time, was always doing more damage. But in any case, now that I kind of see the potential here, I wanted to work down the numbers. Okay, so the first step to doing King Nob's build, and whoever he got it from, or maybe he originally made it, I don't know who to give credit to, so I'm going to give it to King Nob for now, because that's where I found it. Really comes around her kit plus maximizing attack and multipliers. And the multipliers are actually really interesting. So, starting with her kit, it's all around this skill, Annihilation Times. Shoots 4 enhanced arrows that deal, and here's the key here, 300 plus 8.9% of attack. During Annihilation Time, Nera's attack speed is fixed to 55%. So this is going to be burst damage, 100,000% burst damage, and we need to get this number and her attack extremely high, and so that's where Luniare comes in. Everything's going to be about multiplying the attack as high as we could possibly make it, and so Rusty Sword, as high as you can make it, is going to be your best bet, because there are other legacies that give you plus 60% attack maxed out, but Rusty Sword seems to go outside of that. And so if I blew all these, I can get this up to 76%, which I am tempted to do. We won't do that just yet. The other part of this, which is really interesting, and I have been sleeping on Barbarian set, is that the Barbarian set does some crazy shit. So it adds an additional 60% attack, and that's all I was really looking at. Then it basically it reduces the final attack. It deals 50% special damage to 3 targets upon dealing damage after using a skill. And so you're like, okay, so it's gonna basically do like a split. Well, then it goes further, and 5, it does an additional 120% final damage. What ends up happening with Annihilation Time is that this actually hits everybody in the damn field almost in one shot. And I think it might be an interaction with shoots 4 enhanced arrows at the same time. So perhaps 1 attack count of Annihilation Time. I'm not exactly sure what the hell is going on, to be honest with you. I'm like looking at this, plus 1% final damage per 1% of HP lost by the target, and 1% final damage deal for every 3% attack speed it exceeds. Okay, so you can stack attack speed. That's cool. I'm not going to worry about that right now. Somehow, this set, with her ability, she's able to hit way more than 3 targets. She's hitting a ton of targets with this. And I'm going to see if I could break it down while while we're going through this, but she hits a lot. And maybe it is 3 targets, and perhaps I was maybe Mask of Hallucination is doing the other 3, so we're seeing a total of 4 plus 2, right? 2 because 1 for Mask, 1 for Neria, and then a total of 6 additional from Mask, and maybe that's what's going on, which is also really damn strong. So we'll get to that. Outside of this, you really want to pump special damage the best you can. I was able to get special damage to 16.25. I think that you pretty much want to get this to 100%. Or if you can get this to 50 and her attack to 50, that's going to be kind of just as good. Yeah, it's special damage is what's happening here, because that's what's going on with her barbarian set. So with that in mind, you have a few different ways you can go about this kit. One way that I've experimented with is with Staff of Ancient Magic, because that is a skill. So this does do plus 80% amplified skill damage. However, Mask is pretty much doing the same thing by giving you a second Neria. So that's going to be where we go in this build. I have a terrible Mask. So unfortunately, I don't have King Nob's 100% built out, perfect Mask here, but this build still does work. I still was able to clear 15 with this build. So, it's a little jank, but we're looking at 23 bonus damage from relics and an additional 40% bonus damage from Dominion. When I'm able to get Dominion up higher, it'll push her to 80%. So is that great? No, I could, like I said, could get that extra. You know what? Because this is gonna, no matter who I put this on, this is worth it. All right, so we're now at 76 attack. So I'm gonna, where I don't have it in the relics, I'm gonna throw it into the damn legacy, and that should really help this out. So the other thing that's super interesting is there's the multipliers that come from Dwarven Scope. So Dwarven Scope is going to have their first attack damage increased by 400%. All right? Okay? So remember that number. And now look at this number. Normal attack by 70%. Okay? Now, I can tell you right now that her skill is, I think it's considered a normal attack. I think it's all built on normal attack damage. Neria's attack is fixed. Yeah, I think it's all normal attack. This is the same thing that we saw with the Victoria build, where this says normal attack, but it actually applies to the skill. And it does give an extra 60. So we are doing some freaking stuff, man. This is already going to multiply, and we're going to make sure to get this ridiculous spell damage as high as humanly possible. So you have a spell damage multiplier. You have all of this crap that's also increasing the attack. And then you have these two multipliers, the 70 and the 400. So essentially what's happening here is, from like a mathematic perspective, I always pull out the calculator because that's kind of what I've built my channel around for some reason. You're looking at a base 94, right? And then we're going to start stacking all of the additional attacks. So it's going to be plus 40 from Dominion, plus 76 from here. So it's 40 plus 76, right? So even without any other relics, that's kind of where we are. Then you have the plus 60. So now we're at 176, and then it's whatever your relics boost. And in my case, I only have another 31% of relic, okay? Then you also have whatever you have inside of your accessories. In my case, I have 18.5, which isn't too shabby. And so that's going to be... Now, the only thing that sucks is we are getting a minus 10% final attack. So however it multiplies out, there's going to be a 10% debuff on the final number. But that doesn't really matter too much when you're multiplying and multiplying and multiplying and multiplying, right? So that's kind of where things get a little insane, because we're now going to go. We're not going to go that times. So this comes out to basically 3xing. So we're essentially going to have like this be 400, and everything's going to scale off of that number. And what makes it difficult is this spell power. Is that as the spell power is a multiple of 8.989. Real simple. So if we're able to get her spell power to 1,000, then it's going to be double the attack. If we're able to get it to 2,000, it'll be 3x the attack, right? So that's gonna be how we look at our numbers. So getting her spell power stacked also is super important. But it all comes down to this damn combination of Dwarven Scope and Shock Trooper's Mace. That's extremely, extremely strong. So, without further ado, we're going to play... Now, I don't have... Man, I might lose... Oh, yeah, we even talk about the other stuff. My gosh. All right. So, we have Luniare. And Luniare's entire job is to give her stats which affect these numbers, her stats with Swift Blessing with Blessing of the Moon, her attack and spell power over Tier. And that's your typical thing. But there is Sacramentum here. Designates the hero with the highest tier among allies, besides the user, who receive a beneficial effect from the user. 0.5 of the higher stats between the user's attack and spell power is converted into the hero target's base stats. So, essentially, this out of the box, level 1, I rolled it once, is going to increase the amount of stats between the user. Now, if we can get this even bigger, provides both attack and spell power at level 6, so that's even crazier. And everything else is around increasing guard. So level 6 is pretty much where you want to get this to get the most out of it. Now, I don't think I have... Yeah, I don't have any way to improve this currently. But this is a part of the puzzle. It really is. And getting this to 6, to Legacy Tier 6, and then maybe level 10, also contributes to this burst damage build because of what's going on and the way that your Link hero can share boosted stats over to your Hero Lock hero. So... that's pretty strong. I would say that you probably want to build your Luniare. I mean, you could honestly probably build her with attack, so she can give more attack, or you can build her around spell power. I have my Luniare full win set, mostly because I want her to, in most cases, get her MP up as fast as humanly possible. So that's kind of where I have her for, and we won't go too hard into this. Luniare is also good because what we are going to do, since we do not have all the stats that like a end gamer like King Nob has on our relics, I'm going to just make multiple Luniares and stack multiple Luniares on my Neria, and that's going to hopefully make up for the difference in damage. I will say, when you fight boss, you don't have your Link heroes get wiped out in the first attack. So your main hero, whether it's Shelda, whoever your carry is for Hero Lock against Chapter 14, they need to be able to, by the end of the game, take out that boss on their own, or are you going to lose? So, with that all being said, we're going to attempt to do it, and I definitely, you're going to hear it in my voice and in my tone here, that my confidence with my current relics that Nero's going to win is medium. It's medium. Last thing I keep going back is we are looking at Altar of the Mage, at least level 10, and Blacksmith. Neria should kill everything. In order, if Neria is not killing everything without getting hit, then your build is not your supporting build around her is not strong enough, and you need to go to a lower phase and just stick with that. So you don't have to worry about Altar of Blood for that reason. It's just if you are relying on Altar of Blood, this build is already not going to work. So we do Altar of Mage at 10 because we need Neria to have that additional MP. Her skill only has her 30 out of 60, so in order for her to shoot immediately, we have to have Mage Altar up. So that's what's going on there. And let's do it. I have a little bit of stuff. We're at chapter 14, normal, phase 15, Neria, and I'm not too worried about the first 15 rounds. I'm really just kind of worried about the boss fight. So we need to roll golds, or I'm just going to leave because that's how I roll. And guys, basically, it's going to be your standard hero lock build out. I'm not using insignia, so I can put I can have multiple Nerias here. Neria is just not gonna. This Neria is not gonna benefit from the 400% additional multiplied skill damage / normal damage that this is going to multiply. So that's there's that. I would rather have one more Neria. I think we're gonna stay here, and we're just gonna go. And as you can see, we're doing 35,000 damage, pretty freaking easily. So that's pretty cool. Not rolling Neria sucks, but yeah, this is the build. If you haven't seen it and this is your first time, Neria pretty much kills everything. Yeah, that was 52,000 damage without moving. Which I see that same damage with Victoria, but Victoria has to run across the damn battlefield. So that exists. And we're going to start doing this, and I'm going to hang on to this. This is going to give her an additional 15% damage almost. So we saw 55,000. So I saw 72,000 there as my highest. I really want swords and books, honestly. Like, what you're supposed to roll for here is this, but I was dumb and oh no. That's okay. We'll put back in there. Hold on. And we're back. And Luniare ended up getting the medal, which means I am a total noob. I am such a noob, but it's okay. I'm going to pull Luniare off and maybe get a medal from the shop. Maybe. I don't care about bow. I do care about this, and that's fine. So, mistakes were made, but not the first time. I am going to go staff. I do one staff, two swords, because I want this to increase this number so that this number goes up. That's kind of the thought process here. And I mean, in a weird way, this kind of works. No, it doesn't, because Mask is gonna. Actually, I think Mask will still pick Neria. Yeah, because of stats. 116,000 special damage, which is crazy. Which is extremely crazy. Yeah. So it looks like the special damage actually stacks higher than the actual damage. So that is kind of bonkers. Yeah, not having her at 5 means that we're not insta-wiping. Man, not getting blue book or nothing. Am I going to have to grind a tier 2 Neria because of that initial mistake? Yeah, guys, when you're playing Hero Lock on round 4, you got to pull off your Link Hero, turns out. If you don't, that you reduce your chance of getting metal, which hurts. Like, this is exactly the situation you do not want. I mean, we're still going to be fine, but it's really the boss fight that's going to be the problem. And, okay, alright. I did it again, but, you know, a little bit fast and loose here. I made a mistake with that, but that's okay. I'm sure we'll get another silver sword at some point. Actually, it's fine. So I'm going to start putting equipment on Luniare. Now, hypothetically, I could probably put another Luniare over here for my hallucination, but what I try to do is start giving Luniare the ability to maybe survive boss. So, boss AoE, that is something that I'm going to have to think about. So we'll just keep rolling right now. Yeah, 205,000 damage being done to 4 units, I think. 3 units. It's fucking nuts. Y'all seeing this? This shit's crazy. This shit is bananas. Gonna hope for a red book. I want 2 red books if possible. There's blue book. Blue book is like, it's here, and I have money that I'm not doing anything with. So we're going to do blue book, and that's how we're going to get that. And now all we need is 1 red book, and we are pretty damn solid. And not red book, but I'll take it. And red book's here. All right, so we are in a decent spot. I'm going to hold this just in case I end up getting a bigger sword. But I will finish out her magic. So we're now at 300% of her attack with only 1 of these king staffs, dudes. So that is a lot of stacking. That is so much stacking. 500% plus, you know, all of the Dominion and everything else. Yeah, that's where that's all coming from. Obtain silver when defeating enemies. I wish I could put this on this. We could just get all the Neras. But we're saving that slot, so. Yeah, so 415,000 fucking damage, burst damage. Holy crap. And we're not even, dude, like, our kit isn't even good. Our kit is, like, medium good. I mean, I could probably start building out Luniare a little bit better. I am getting a little nervous that the boss is going to one-shot us and we're not going to put enough damage out. If I can keep my Luniare for maybe 5 swings, I would be pretty happy with that. Because that would maybe get that burst off. Okay. Alright. So, we are there. There's part of me that kind of wants to throw sword on her, but we'll hang on to it. Yeah, it's pretty strong. I kind of want sword. Sure. Alright, well, this is where we see if all of our hard work paid off. Luniare made it through. 3 hits. I mean, I'll take it. And we got it, guys. So that is crazy. Now, you're going to see that a lot of damage, that Neria is putting out a lot of damage here. But it's really just in that main trigger. And now, because the scope is only giving you plus 400% every X number of attacks, I think it's 5 number, between like attack number 1 and attack number 4, it doesn't always line up with the 7-second buff from Mace. So it's really only going to be like that first attack that you're going to get that really big burst. You're not going to get that burst like after that. But guys, yeah, equip Neria and farm that forever, basically. That seems to be the current strategy. And the clear was not difficult, really, once you get all the stuff put on there. So, anyway, again, a big thank you to King Nob for, I'm sure that's one of many ridiculously strong strats that he's invested his time and energy and effort in figuring out within the community. And this is me kind of doing a breakdown of that strat so that everybody else who doesn't understand the mechanics of the game simply by glancing at the builds has a shot of know what's going on, why it's strong, what not to do, and how if you're not able to get that, if you don't have enough stats to clear on that first burst, then this build isn't going to work, because you understand that scope and Mace are doing the work on that first shot. 400 plus 70 plus all spell damage multiplying the massive attack. So, all right, peoples, I will see you in the next one.